So, okay, class, who wants to lead a prayer? Okay, so let's bow down our head and put ourselves in the presence of God. So, in the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, class, good morning. So, good morning again, class. So, before that, please all stand up. And please pick all the piece of paper you will saw under your table and chair. I will give you 5 seconds to pick it up. Okay? Okay, class, you may take your seat. Okay, again, for the second time, good morning. So class, before we start our formal discussion, let me read first our learning objectives. So at the end of the lesson, students should be able to first, describe the speech act. Second, distinguish the types and the classification of the speech act. And number 3, determine the appropriate response in different social settings. And the last one is to respond appropriately and effectively to a speech act. So now, let's proceed to our discussion. So class, before we proceed, let's face your classmate and ask them about the last conversation they had with their mother. So I will give you again 5 minutes to do this activity. Okay, so class, I am pleased to hear your conversation or the last conversation you had with your mother. So for your activity, please bring out a 1/4 cross-white sheet of paper and listen carefully to my instruction, okay? So, for our activity, recall a conversation you had with someone who did not understand what you mean and give you a different response. Then, supply the table below with the needed information. So, present your output in front of class. So, for this activity, I will give you 10 minutes to do this. Okay? As finish or not finish, please present your output in front of class. Class, give yourself a round of applause for doing great in our activity. So let's proceed to our discussion. Okay, class, you may take your seat. Okay, again, for the second time, good morning. So class, who remembered our last discussion? Okay, Mr. Sabilio? Correct. So our last discussion or our topic yesterday was about the speech style. So class, what did you learn yesterday? Okay, Miss Chona? Okay, very good. I know that you learned something from our previous discussion, and now you are ready to our new lesson, which is the speech act. Okay, so class, are you familiar with it? Okay, I understand that you're not familiar with it yet, but did you know that speech act has 3 types? Okay, so now let's discuss it further in order for you to understand. So, who wants to read the definition of the speech act? Okay, Miss Aguilion? Okay, thank you very much. You may sit. So, speech act is an utterance that a speaker makes to achieve an intended effect. Some of the functions which are carried out using speech act are offering, apology, greetings, requests, complaints, invitations, and refusal. So, based on our discussion, class, speech act is an utterance. When we say utterance, what comes first in your mind? Yes? Correct. It is a vocal sounds. Another one? Okay, very good. It is the words or yes, the words that comes out from our mouth. It is what we say or what we speak. Okay? So class, when we say speech act, okay, we already discussed that it is an utterance. So some of the functions, so it has a functions which are carried out using speech acts are first we have offering. So for example, if you are offering a food to your classmate rather, how will you say it? Okay? Okay, correct. Thank you very much, Miss Moises. Okay, so when we are offering someone a food, mostly we say, do you want this food? Or we can say, if someone needed our help, do you wanted help? Or you want help? I can help you. Okay, so next is the word apology. So when we are apologizing, what we can say or how we will say it. Okay, we can say, I am sorry, or we just say, I will not do it again, and just say sorry. Okay, so the next is the word greetings. So when we are greeting someone, we could just simply say, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or even the word good night. So next is the word request. So when we are requesting, how we will say it? Okay, we can say please. We often or we use the word please when we are requesting. So who can use the word please in a sentence using the form offering or I mean request rather. Okay, please. You may. Okay, correct. Please, can you? Okay, can you get me a glass of water? That is correct. Our next word is complain. So when we are complaining, how do we say it? We can just simply say, oh, the movie is so boring. The food did not taste good. I don't like it like that. So that is the form of complaint. So the next is the word invitation. So when we are inviting our friends, our colleagues, our family, how do we say it? Okay? Correct. We can simply say you can go to our house. We have a party next to weekend. You can go there and just like that. So the next is or the last word is or the last function that carried out using the speech acts is the refusal. So when we are refusing to someone, or for example, in invitation, Mr. Aguilion invited Miss Sabilio into his party. So, Miss Sabilio, how will you refuse it? Okay, stand up. Okay, correct. Very good. So, you can just say, I am sorry, I cannot go there, I am busy. Or no, I have something to do, or I have a business, or I have something important to do that day. So, that is the functions of speech acts. So now, are you ready to know and to discuss further the types of speech act? Okay, so let's proceed, class. So, class, are you familiar with the types of the speech act? Okay, so we have three types of speech act. We have the locutionary, and the pre-locutionary. So, who wants to read the definition of locutionary? Okay, Miss Faderon. Okay, thank you. So, locutionary is the actual act of uttering. So another one, elocutionary. Who wants to read? Okay, Miss Bantilio. Thank you for reading. So elocutionary is the social function of what is said by uttering the location. So the last one is the prelocutionary. So who wants to read? Okay, please read. Okay, thank you. So prelocutionary refers to the consequence effect of what was said. So based on our definition, so locutionary is the actual act of uttering. So meaning it is what we are saying. For example, what the words that came out from my mouth is the locutionary. So our elocutionary is, based on the definition, is the social function of what is said by the uttering the locution. So, for example, the word good morning. So that is our locution. So in the locutionary, it is the performance of the actual act of uttering, meaning it is the intention of what we are saying in our locutionary. So in our pre-locutionary, it refers to the consequence effect of what was said. So in short, these three has a function or they are connected with each other. So for example, so our locutionary is please wash the dishes. So that is our actual act of uttering. So for our locutionary, so please wash the dishes. So its intention is to request the receiver of the message to wash the dishes. So the prelocutionary of please wash the dishes is the receiver will, okay, correct. The receiver will wash the dishes. So did you get it? Did you understand, class? Okay, very good. So who wants to give an example? Okay, Miss Padol? Okay, correct. So another one. Okay, so I know that you already understand the types of speech act. So now let's proceed to the classification of the speech act. We are down to the 5 classification of speech act. So we have 5, the assertive, directive, commercial, expressive, and the last one is the declaration. So, this classification of speech act is a response of Searles to Austin types of speech act. So, as based on our previous discussion, the 3 types of speech act are what? Okay, correct. The elocutionary, locutionary, and the prelocutionary speech act. So, insert classification of speech act under the what class? Yes, correct. Under the elocutionary speech act. So, based on Searle's classification of speech act during at the time of 1976, he is a professor from a University of California. He classified elocutionary act into 5 distinct categories. So, like what I said, we have the assertive. So, anyone who wants to read the definition of assertives? Yes? Miss Deliaza? Okay, thank you for reading. So, assertive. The speaker expresses belief about the truth of a proposition. So, when we say assertive, one of the example is you are suggesting, you are swearing, you are boasting about something, and concluding, and the last one is putting forward. So give me an example of an allocutionary act in a form of boasting. Class, anyone who want to share his or her ideas, you're free to tell and to speak. Okay, Mr. Badol? Okay, thank you. So, his sentence is, no one can cook pancakes better than me. So, it is boasting. So, based on our example, that Mr. Badol is boasting that no one can cook pancakes better than he is. And that is correct. So, another one. So, if we are suggesting, how will you say it, class? Okay, correct. And another one, when you are swearing, how will you say it? Like, for example, I swear that I will never love him again. Or I swear that I will never watch K-drama again. So that is swearing. So another one is when you are concluding. So where do we use concluding again, class? Yes, correct. We use it in our research when we are creating hypothesis. We conclude. Okay? So we use sometimes, therefore, I conclude that, blah, blah, blah. So in speech act, so how will you form a sentence using this allocutionary speech act assertive? Okay? Miss Sampaco, you may speak. Okay, correct. So that is in the form of concluding. Okay? So now, let's proceed to the second classification of the speech act. So, the directive. Who wants to read the definition? Okay? Read. Everyone read it. Okay, thank you, class. So, based on our definition, directive, the speaker tries to make the addressee perform an action. So, directive. So, when you hear the word directive, what comes first in your mind, class? Okay, direction. Yes, giving instruction. Okay, all your ideas are correct. So, directive again, the speaker tries to make an addressee perform an action. So, class, one of the example of directive is you are asking, you are ordering, requesting, insisting, advising, and begging. So, who wants to give an example in directive? Okay, again. Okay, correct. So, his example are, would you make me a cup of coffee? So, that is requesting under directive. Very good, class, you are learning. So, next is the commissive. So, again, everyone, read the definition. Okay, thank you everyone for reading. So, based on our definition, commissive, the speaker tries to commit of doing something in the future. So, commissive. So, when you hear the word commissive, what comes in your mind first? Okay, you don't have any idea. So, one of the examples are, you are promising, you are planning, you are vowing, and you are what? Yes, correct. So, use the word, construct a sentence that you are promising to someone. Okay, Miss? Do you have an idea? Okay. Okay, thank you. So, I promise to love him. What's your sentence again? Okay, I promise to love him till death do us part. Yes, correct. That is combative. Under you are promising. Okay, that is under combative. So next is, or who wants anyone another example or idea? Do you have class? Okay. So let's proceed. So the fourth or number 4 is expressive. So again, read it with me. So expressive, the speaker expresses his or her feelings or emotional reaction. So based on our definition, the speaker expresses his or her feelings. So give me an examples of feelings, class. Okay? Yes, happy, sad, surprised, anger, annoyed, frustrated. Yes, there is a lot of emotions or feelings that we are feeling. So, in expressive, it is we are expressing our feelings or emotion or emotional reaction into something. So, example is you are thanking, you are expressing your gratitude, you are apologizing, you are welcoming, and developing. So, for example, thank you for your kind offer. So that is under expressive. You are expressing your gratitude to someone who offer you something. Okay? So, anyone do you have any idea about expressive? Expressing your emotions or your feelings to someone. Okay, you are talking about confessing. So, did you confess? Okay, class. Okay, let's go back to our topic, okay? So, expressive. You are expressing. Okay, that is correct. All your ideas are correct, class. So, the last classification of speech act is the declaration. So, again, read it with me. So, the speakers bring a change in the external situation. So, what do we mean by declaration? Anyone? Yes, correct. You are stating something, facts, opinions, or ideas. That is declaration. Very good, class. So, in declaration, the examples are you are expressing blessing, you are firing someone in your business, you are when a priest baptized an infant in binding, and for example in a wedding, okay, for example is in a wedding ceremony. So when the priest says that I pronounce you husband and wife, that is the form of declaration. So that is the last classification of speech act. Again, we have assertive, directive, commissive, expressive, and declaration. So class, for your do you have any questions, clarifications, or violent reactions? Okay, Nan. So again, I am so happy for your participation today. So for our quiz, get 1/4 sheet of paper and we'll do it shortly, okay? So, number 1. Are you ready? Okay. So again, number 1. So for our instruction, sorry I forgot the instruction class. So instruction, identify the allocutionary act or the intention in each item. So write your answer in your paper. So ready? So number 1, why don't you like to sing? I advise you to stop smoking. For last item, I swear I will never come back to him. So class, pass your paper in front. Okay, and for your last activity for today's discussion, so listen carefully to my instruction. So, before that, let me ask you this. Are you familiar with the movie My Ex and Wives? Or do you know the love team called Disken or Miss Liza Soberano and Enrique Hill? Yes, I know that you're one of their fans. Okay, so for our activity today, I know that you are familiar with these famous lines of Miss Liza Soberano, right? This line taken from their movies, My Ex and Wives. So the line is, I am not enough. Pangit ba ako? Kapalit-palit ba ako? Yes. So what you're going to do is to look for a movie. So this is just an example class, so you have references. So what you're gonna do is to look for a movie, list down its movie title. The next is you should put the character, their lines, their intention, and the effect of the line or of the message to the receiver. So for example, for character, Liza Soberano as Calexta Cali Ferrer. So her line is, I am not enough, pangit ba ako, kapalit-palit ba ako? And the intention is to express her frustration to the person who cheated on her. So the effect is to Gio, which is the receiver. So that is Enrique Hill's character, and the effect is he realized that what he did was wrong. And the question there is, suppose that you are in the same situation. How would you react, or what would be your reaction? And how will you respond to the utterance or to the statement? And another one is, okay, so that's it. So, yes, so that is your activities. Did you get it? Did you understand? Okay, I will give you just 3 minutes to finish your activity. Okay? Okay, by the way, you will present it again in class. And in the next meeting, before we start our new topic, you will present it in front. Okay? Okay. So, okay class, I know that you're finished now and we do not have time to finish that. So for your assignment, look for a short story in a textbook, in a books, or even in internet. You can Google it, class. all you're gonna do is to look for a short movie, short story. Then you must narrate it in front of the class. Okay? So, but the rule is the story that you must look is containing the Classification of Speech Act, directive, and expressive. It is expressing and directing. So that's it for your assignment rather. Now please stand. So goodbye class. Okay. Thank you for listening and have a good day. Okay.